I wanted to share with you a little Christmas story today. About a week before Christmas, a family bought a new nativity scene. When they unpacked it, they found 2 figures of the baby Jesus. Someone must have packed this wrong, the mother said, counting out the figures. We have 1 Joseph, 1 Mary, 3 wise men, 3 shepherds, 2 lambs, a donkey, a cow, an angel, and 2 babies. Oh dear, I suppose some other set down at the store is missing a baby Jesus because we have 2. You 2 run back down to the store and tell the manager that we have an extra Jesus. Tell him to put a sign on the remaining boxes saying that if a set is missing a baby Jesus, call 7126. Put on your warm coats. It's freezing cold out there. The manager of the store copied down the mother's message, and the next time they were in the store, they saw the cardboard sign that read, "If you're missing baby Jesus, call 7126. All week long, they waited for someone to call. Surely, they thought, someone was missing the Jesus figurine. Each time the phone rang, Mother would say, "I bet that's about Jesus," but it never was. Father tried to explain that there are thousands of sets scattered all over the country, and the figurine could be missing from a set in Florida or Texas or California. Those packing mistakes happen all the time, he said. He suggested that they just put the extra Jesus back in the box and forget about it. Put baby Jesus back in the box? What a terrible thing to do, said the children. Surely someone will call, the mother said. We'll just keep the 2 of them together in the manger until someone calls. When no one had called by 5 p.m. on Christmas Eve, Mother insisted that Father just run down to the store to see if there were any sets left. You can see them right through the window over on the counter, she said. If they are all gone, I'll know someone is bound to call tonight. Run down to the store, Father thundered. It's 15 below zero out there. Oh, Daddy, we'll go with you, Tommy and Mary said as they began to put on their coats. Father gave a long sigh and headed for the front door. I can't believe I'm doing this, he muttered. Tommy and Mary ran ahead as Father reluctantly walked out in the cold. Mary got to the store first and pressed her nose up to the store window. They're all gone, Daddy, she shouted. Every set must be sold. Hooray, Tommy said. The mystery will be solved tonight. Father heard the news still half a block away and immediately turned and headed back home. When they got back into the house, they noticed that Mother was gone, and so was the extra baby Jesus figurine. Someone must have called, and she went out to deliver the figurine, my father reasoned, pulling off his boots. You kids get ready for bed while I wrap Mother's present. Then the phone rang. Father yelled, "Answer the phone and tell him we found a home for Jesus." But it was Mother calling with instructions for us to come to 205 Chestnut Street immediately and bring 3 blankets, a box of cookies, and some milk. Now what has she gotten us into? My father groaned as we bundled up again. 205 Chestnut, why, that's way across town. Wrap that milk up good in the blankets or it will turn to ice before we get there. Why can't we all just get on with Christmas? It's probably 20 below out there now, and the wind is picking up. Of all the crazy things to do on a night like this. When they got to the house at 205 Chestnut Street, it was the darkest one on the block. Only one tiny light burned in the living room, and the moment we set foot on the porch steps, my mother opened the door and shouted, "They're here! Oh, thank God you got here. Ray, "You kids, take those blankets into the living room and wrap up the little ones on the couch. I'll take the milk and cookies." "Would you mind telling me what is going on, Ethel?" my father asked. "We have just walked through below zero weather with the wind in our faces all the way." "Never mind all that now," my mother interrupted. "There isn't any heat in this house, and this young mother is so upset she doesn't know what to do. Her husband walked out on her, and these poor little children will have a very bleak Christmas. So don't you complain. I told her you could fix that oil furnace in a jiffy." My mother strode off to the kitchen to warm the milk while my brother and I wrapped up the 5 little children who were huddled together on the couch. The children's mother explained to my father that her husband had run off, taken the bedding, clothing, and almost every piece of furniture, but she had been doing all right until the furnace broke down. "Been doing washing and ironing for people and cleaning the 5 and dime," she said. "I saw your number every day there on those boxes on the counter. When the furnace went out, that number kept going through my mind. 7162, 7162. It said on the box that if a person was missing Jesus, they should call you. That's how I knew you were good Christian people willing to help folks. I figured that maybe you would help me too. So I stopped at the grocery store tonight and called your wife. I'm not missing Jesus because I sure love the Lord, but I am missing heat. I have no money to fix that furnace." Okay, said the father. "You've come to the right place. Now let's see. You've got a little oil burner over there in the dining room. Shouldn't be too hard to fix. Probably just a clogged flue. I'll look it over, see what it needs." Mother came into the living room carrying a plate of cookies and warm milk. As she set the cups down on the coffee table, I noticed the figure of baby Jesus lying in the center of the table. It was the only sign of Christmas in the house. The children stared wide-eyed with wonder at the plate of cookies my mother set before them. Father finally got the oil burner working and said, "You need more oil. I'll make a few calls tonight and get some oil." "Yes, sir, you came to the right place," Father said with a grin. On the way home, Father did not complain about the cold weather and had barely set foot inside the door when he was on the phone. "Ed, hey, how are you, Ed?" "Yes, Merry Christmas to you too, Ed. Say, Ed, we have kind of an unusual situation here. I know you've got that pickup truck. Do you still have some oil in that barrel on your truck?" "You do?" By this time, the rest of the family were pulling clothes out of their closets and toys off their shelves. It was long after the bedtime when they were wrapping gifts. The pickup came. On it were chairs, 3 lamps, blankets, and gifts. Even though it was 30 below, Father let them ride along in the back of the truck. No one ever did call about the missing figurine in the nativity set. But as I grow older, I realize that it wasn't a packing mistake at all. Jesus saves. That's what he does. Amen.